Wow. Well, Sheila, thank you so much for letting us see these amazing pictures and fill in some blanks about Arthur's story, because that's something that we're trying to do, is look at this kind of hidden history, because it seems like a lot of Arthur, like you were saying, was kind of lost to history, and a lot of secrets, but it's incredible to kind of resurrect his memory, the memory of this great man, really. So thank you for filling in some blanks for us.
And it's just amazing to me that even though my mum had never had any time for Aunt Emma, Arthur's wife, she's kept these photographs all these years.
Yeah.
I mean, if there'd been no connection, she would have destroyed them.
Yeah, and it just makes me wonder, if they weren't talking, those two sisters, well, that would be another thing that would suggest that perhaps Arthur was the reason why they weren't talking.
Probably.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is a fascinating story, and I really do. Well, someday we'll know.
Yeah. Well, if you do get a letter back from Ghana,
I'll let you know.
Please let us know, so we can read it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did you say?
No. These two are sisters.
Oh, okay, right.
That one's my mum at this side. This is the sister Minnie, who lived with my mum and lived with us when we were growing up as children, and she was the one who Arthur used to come and see.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, could you repeat that for us, Sheila?
Yeah. This is my mum's sister Minnie. She lived with us as when I was younger, as I was growing up, and she's the one that Emma, Arthur's wife, came to visit, and she made a welcome, but my mother didn't.
Okay, can you just point to your mum for us, please?
This is my mum.
And the next person is?
And the next person is my Auntie Minnie, my mum's sister.
Okay. Thanks.
That's an intriguing photograph. Do you know anything about that one?
Yes, my brother, George. He was in the Fleet Air Arm, and he was killed. His plane was shot down. He was an air gunner in a swordfish plane, and he was on his way back from. Sorties over Germany during the Second World War, and his plane was shot down and landed in the sea near the Orkney Islands up north of Scotland.
Yeah.
And that's where he's buried up there, and this is the man from the British Legion laying some flowers there. They do that every year on the war graves, and I've been up there a couple of times to see them.
Oh.
But she had a sad life, my mum. My father died when I was 10 years old, and a lot of these I don't know who they are.
It's so important, isn't it, to remember to try and remember, because like you were saying, you now that your mum's gone, there are certain people here who you'll never know who they are and their stories either.
Oh, that's my mum as well, with my niece Carol.
Wow, she's beautiful. Look at that.
Can you just pull the picture back? Take it back a bit.
Oh, like that.
That's it, yeah. That's perfect. That's great. Yep, thank you.
And that one was taken at Plymouth, the memorial to the servicemen, because I was saying my mum had a pretty hard life. My other brother, my eldest brother, he was killed. He was on the HMS Gloucester, a battleship in the Second World War,
Wow.
and his ship was sunk at the Battle of Crete, and his name's on the war memorial at down in Plymouth, and that's just a picture of that.
So you lost two brothers to the
Lost
Second World War.
I lost two brothers in the Second World War, and this is why I said my mum had that was my brother who was on the HMS Gloucester. And my dad. Oh, this is my dad.
It's funny, isn't it? Yeah, my granddad fought in World War Two as well, and he was out in Burma.
Yeah. Well, my dad was in the Navy. That's my dad, and he was in the Navy, and the Navy was his life. And so when my two brothers were 11 years old, he sent them to the naval school at Ipswich. They didn't go to a secondary school.
Right.
They went to a naval school, and that's George. That's George, who was in the Fleet Air Arm, and Tom, that one there.
So did they get to travel much themselves? Because I suppose that was a way to be in the Navy, to actually see a lot of the world at that time.
They did see a lot of the world. George was on the Ark Royal. He was based on the Ark Royal, and the Swordfish used to take off to go on the sorties over Germany. They used to take off from the decks of the Ark Royal and fly over and drop whatever bombs they'd got, and then come back. And it was as he was coming back that they were fired at from.
So these are actually your two brothers that passed away in World War II. Look at that, that's really touching, these two young...
And they were sent to the naval school when they were 11 years old,
Right.
rather than going to a secondary school.
So it was really in their blood, weren't it? And I guess they died heroes, really, didn't they?
And my dad, it was in my dad's blood as well, and he never got... And that's why he became a lock keeper. He couldn't bear to be away from water. And he was the lock... I was brought up at the lock in a lock house at the side of the locks, because my dad couldn't bear to be away from water, and so he became a lock keeper.
Do you have that affinity for the water as well?
I love cruises.
Oh, yeah.
not barges. Cruises. I've been on a few cruises.
Nice.
But I don't know who that is. I think she looks a bit like Aunt Emma, my Aunt Emma, who was married to Arthur. I can't be certain. I don't think there's anything on the back. But she looked very much like that.
It says Tuesday before Lizzie died. Is there something about... I don't know what that word says.
I don't know. Oh, taken.
Oh.
Oh no, that was my aunt Lizzie. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I haven't seen that before. Taken Tuesday before Lizzie died. I just thought that was
So how old was she in that picture?
I don't know, but they seem to look pretty. They seem to look quite old, didn't they? Young.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't seem to stay looking as young in the olden days. I suppose it was because of the diets and things like that.
And they worked hard as well.
Yeah.
Took its time.
And things happened earlier as well. Like, if you imagine, like, by 25, most women would have had a family, wouldn't they? You know,
yeah.
and which is different now, isn't it?